Laws regarding right-of-way, passing, speed, and driving, Part 1. The phrase rules of the road refers to every traffic legislation, regulation, and advised driving technique put in place by a state government or federal transportation body with the goal of maintaining the safety of road users and the smooth operation of the highway transportation system. Over the past century, traffic laws and road regulations have developed quickly thanks to the introduction of the automobile, and many of them are still being adjusted and improved to fit our country's ever-expanding transportation system. 91% of all personal travel is currently done in private vehicles such as automobiles, light trucks, vans, and motorcycles. Without traffic laws, the entire nation would quickly degenerate into anarchy. As a new driver, you have a lot to learn, but don't worry, if millions of other drivers can understand the rules of the road, so can you. Regulations to control traffic flow. When learning about how and why road laws operate, understanding traffic flow is a crucial component of the jigsaw. All traffic regulations are in place to safeguard other road users or maintain efficient traffic flow. Since what improves traffic flow typically reduces the risk associated with driving on a length of roadway, and vice versa. The majority of traffic laws and road rules actually check both of these boxes. There is less potential for collisions between vehicles or between vehicles and people when all traffic using a roadway is uniformly spaced and moving at the same, constant speed. Additionally, traffic that moves easily enables everyone to get at their destinations without delay or worry. To improve traffic flow and ensure the safety of all road users, the Federal Highway Administration and state transportation agencies have enacted thoroughly thought-out traffic regulations. It is your duty as a new driver to become familiar with and follow these regulations. We begin our rules of the road part by talking about traffic flow and the methods employed to coordinate it. You must develop strong communication and teamwork skills with other road users in addition to knowing how to operate your own car and follow traffic laws. Rules of the road. Almost all interactions between road users that you will have while driving on public roads are governed by the concept of right-of-way. Right-of-way laws come into play whenever more than one vehicle or pedestrian wishes to cross the same patch of pavement at roughly the same time and determine who gets to go first and who must give the right-of-way. When you first start learning to drive, the concept of right-of-way may seem difficult, but mastering the fundamentals is simple. In reality, when confronted with a new or unexpected scenario, drivers do not have much time to contemplate the finer points of right-of-way law. In general, if you follow these fundamental guidelines, you won't make a mistake. 1. Unless someone else yields the right-of-way to you, you do not legally have it. Even when the right-of-way should be yours, you should always look both ways before moving forward. The law might be broken by other motorists. The right-of-way should always be given to oncoming traffic at intersections, roundabouts, highways, and other public roads over vehicles trying to enter from driveways, side streets, or parking spaces. Yield if you're unsure about what to do in a right-of-way conflict. The safest course of action is almost always to give up the right-of-way. Rules for passing and succeeding. Even in the best of circumstances, passing other cars can be extremely deadly if done incorrectly. Drivers should only attempt to pass another car if doing so is the safest course of action, such as when the person in front of you is having car trouble or is moving significantly more slowly than the rest of the traffic. In order to overtake another car, drivers must. To ensure passing is permitted, look for traffic signs, pavement markings, and use their understanding of road rules. Make sure there is enough room for them to complete the pass. Use hand signals or indicator lights to convey their intent to pass. Almost as crucial as how you drive while you are being passed by another car is how you conduct yourself. Any driver being passed must take every precaution to ensure the other driver makes the turn safely. Rules for parking and stopping. While certain parking regulations are consistent across the board, others are dependent on the legislation of each state and locality. New drivers must first understand the legal distinction between stopping, standing, and parking, as these are three distinct activities, in order to practice safe and legal parking. Some locations forbid one or more of these behaviors while allowing others. Laws and rules governing speed. Drivers are impacted by speed restrictions and regulations on every trip, frequently on several occasions. The amount of traffic and the safety of everyone are greatly impacted by the speed at which we drive. This is why there are speed limits on every road in the United States. There is always a top speed restriction, which is either indicated on legal road signs or is assumed based on the type of route. A minimum speed restriction is also used to regulate some high-speed routes. The risk posed by the roadway determines the appropriate speed limit. Complex or dangerous areas typically have lower maximum speed limits. Since there aren't always signs indicating the legal speed limits to direct you, you need to know how to determine the speed limit on any given stretch of road. We give a general summary of the speed restrictions in various locations and circumstances around the United States, but you should also consult your state's driver manual because the laws frequently fluctuate from state to state. Sticking to the posted speed limit is not enough to determine a safe and adequate speed for driving. The fact that speed limits are set with ideal driving conditions in mind is something that drivers must never forget. If drivers on a road are put in greater danger than usual, they must reduce their speed to a safe level or face charges of reckless driving.